Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to another episode 12 of A Safe Space for Men. I'm your host, Ron. Please remember to rate, review, like, subscribe, and download the podcast. I appreciate it, I really do. It's Thanksgiving week, turkey. So today we're going to be talking about what we're thankful for, what I'm thankful for. Got a little bit of domestic violence stuff I want to talk about. And pretty much my week. My week was fucking bananas. But first, my oldest girl, my first baby girl, my oldest daughter, she turned 20 yesterday, which is, I don't know, it was like milestone-ish. You know what I'm saying? It also reminds me that I'm getting old, as if I don't see all the grays. But yeah, she turned 20. We FaceTime. We talked for a little bit. She talked to her little sisters, and but she was headed out to do 20-year-old shit. You know what I mean? But I love my baby. I'm super proud of her. She's a really good kid. You know, she's finding her way in this world, learning from mistakes. And again, I'm proud of all my kids. But yeah, she's a really good kid. She also shares a birthday with my dad. His birthday was yesterday as well. He is now 65. Yeah, because my mom is about to be. I think my mom's about to be 70. Yeah. So he's 65 or 64, something like that. I don't know. But obviously I didn't talk to him. We still haven't talked in I think now like 5 or 6 months, and we probably won't because I'm not reaching out, not yet. And he hasn't reached out to me. I just think once like I let him know certain things, and also like made a point that you can't talk to me a certain way. He hasn't reached out. So, and I also noticed with him, again, which is going to be something I'll talk about today, is one of the one-sided relationships. Once he realized he couldn't get anything out of me anymore or get me to do things for him, the phone just stopped ringing. You know what I mean? And as fucked up as that sounds, but we'll probably have a conversation. There's some things that we gotta say. I know I definitely gotta say to him. Hopefully it won't be like when he's on his deathbed, but I get the feeling that'll probably be what warrants me to go see him or to pick the phone up. The cat is back, y'all. I let the cat back in the house. Simba is back. I saw a visitor. I immediately went outside, got my cat. Simba, come on home. It's time to come home. He came in that night. He annihilated all intruders. I have not seen an intruder literally since the night he came back in. So all is forgiven. I think he learned his lesson from his 30-day outdoor punishment. As y'all seen in one of the episodes, he was in the window meowing, crying, begging it to get his way back in. So he's sitting over there sleeping in his little bed thinking. But yeah, the cat is back. I'm headed down to Maryland this week for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna spend some time with my best friend, my brother, and his family. I'm taking the girls. We're going down there, so that'll be fun. Hopefully I get down there early. I'm gonna get down at like 1 o'clock. I'm hoping. I gotta work that morning, so if the kids are ready when I get back, and everything lines up, and no more issues with my car, which is part of my crazy week, we'll be down there. So. Things I'm thankful for, my kids first and foremost. I have some really just good kids. I'll talk people ear off about how fucking good my kids are. They just really all good people. They're all nice. They're sensitive. They have empathy. They're smart. They are all hard workers. And they all have just different but great personalities. They all are like their own people, which is, I guess that's how you want them to be, but they're not. I don't have any bad kids. Like, it's really crazy. I'm not gonna wood, but my kids aren't like in trouble. They're not in the streets. They're not selling drugs. They don't have OnlyFans. Like they're doing the shit they're supposed to do. They make the mistakes they're supposed to make, and that's kind of all you can ask for. I'm super thankful for my family, all of my family, especially the people that help me with my kids. Even the ones that just reach out, like, hey, you need help with anything this week? Because there are people that text me, hey, how's everything going? I've had cousins that reached out to me and just like, I know Jordan's small, and I know you be having stuff. If you're gonna be a sinner, just let me know. Like, I appreciate stuff like that. You know what I mean? Even though I have that under control, but that gives me another avenue that I can, hey, I had an emergency today. Does that offer still stand? And it probably does, but, and I do the same thing with people, especially like people with small kids. I'm really good with small kids. But I don't get too far off track. I'm just really thankful for my family, especially my sister. My sister is super helpful with Jordan. She takes Jordan to school for me. She picks her up sometimes when I can't pick her up. It's just, yeah, I have help when I need help. No matter how much I'm going to complain this episode. I have help when I need it. And I'm super thankful for my friends, the ones that have stuck around, the ones that I talk to regularly, maybe not every day, but just regularly. And the ones that help with my kids, they know who they are, or have helped me with my kids, they know who they are. Whether we speak or not, or we speak daily or not, I'm just incredibly thankful for them. They're great people. Super thankful for my job. The job that I have now, everybody knows I work for American Airlines. It's a really great job for me, in my opinion, because compared to the jobs I've had in the past. I took a pay cut to go there, but the amount that I gained mentally is just like, I've never been at work and been stressed out, ever, not at that job. Other jobs, oh my gosh, like losing my fucking mind. But they allow me to have just a great quality of life, which other jobs didn't. Other jobs destroyed my mental health, just made me just a really angry old man at a young age. And I don't miss working 50 to 60 hours a week and like coming home to get 4 hours of sleep and then getting them having to do life and everything else all over again. At least with this job, I can, and I work crazy hours there, but I can shut it down whenever I want to. I can take off a week. Just like last week, I took off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But yeah, for my week, it was a really rough fucking week. And I'm going to cuss a lot this episode. It was really chaotic. I felt like really overwhelmed, which is why I took the days off. Part of it, Jordan was sick. The other part of it was just like, I didn't want to be around nobody. I really was feeling antisocial, like just distant, like I needed to be in my own space. If it wasn't my kids and in my house or the gym, I didn't want to be bothered. Single parenting is not for the weak people. It is not. I'm not complaining at all. But when a kid gets sick and it's only you, it can be a hassle, or is a hassle, when you're having to take off work or leave work or figure out babysitting on the fly. You know what I mean? Like navigating that shit it's a lot. It could be a lot. You really have. Thankfully for me, everything is kind of lined up to where everything is always just one phone call. But when I be going through my shit, I be thinking about the people that don't have that like they have to leave work or whatever, or they can't leave work, but their kid is sick and they don't have no one to get their kid. You know what I'm saying? I know people that don't have an emergency contact for their children. Like I don't have an emergency contact for me, but I have emergency contacts for my kid, if that makes sense. But like, I know that sounds funny. But like, yeah, I really wonder like what they do. Like, how do you navigate that shit? How do you fucking, like, how? So, Jordan got sick early last week. When she came home Monday, she had the sniffles. They said she had threw up when she was outside. So she got up Tuesday and she actually was fine. So, and because I gave her medicine and everything, so she was actually cool when she got up Tuesday. When I picked her up Tuesday, her nose was just like a mess. It was really runny. It was it was just, the mucus was green. So I kept her home Wednesday, Thursday. I let her go back to school Friday. And Jordan don't like them to school. Jordan wants to go be with her friends. She loves her school. That's the one thing I can say. Like, they teach her. It's a really good place. Even though, like, some of the shit they do fucking is mind-blowing. But that's another story. But yeah, I kept her home because she was sick. And I had to figure that shit out. Like, obviously I was off. And the sitter is always available. But it was just like, I was like deciding all that stuff on the fly. Like, I woke up Wednesday, I was off, cool. And then Thursday I woke up like, wait a second, I gotta go to work today, but she's sick, and I had to like call the sitter and just figuring that stuff out. And then a week before, when my sister picked her up to take her to school, the fucking school didn't have electric. So my sister calls me and she's like, the school don't have no electric. I'm like, and it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30. So I had to like call the sitter, hey, could you come? And of course it's a yes. She's like, you don't have to call me, just tell your sister to bring her. And that's great. The great thing about Gija is like, that's the sitter. It's just like, I'm thankful that I have her. I'm thankful that I have sitters or a sitter that is just always on demand, always like loves my kid, and she'll keep her overnight and all that. So, but still, stepmommy, please, seriously, we need somebody in here to fold these clothes. Jokingly. And again, I'm really thankful for my sister, man. She always come through for me. She's really good with the kids. She's always showing up for them. Even like, it's just, I don't know, it seems like the older we all get, the better human beings we all become. Not that she wasn't always a good person, but like everybody in my family, everyone's just, the older I get, everyone is like just much better. But yeah, I was really snappy this week. I felt like there's just always laundry that needed to be folded. There's always something that needed to be cleaned. I was stepping on toys and shit. Like, every time I turned around, it was time to do Jordan's hair. And I'm just like, this week, I was like, my God. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I need a break. I need a drink. I need some tequila. I need some sleep. I need a fucking heating pad. Like, yeah, I just needed some me time. I didn't have time for me this week. Something that really bothered me this week, I discovered that somebody had basically stopped being friends with me without notification. As funny as that fucking sounds. And it was because I was you know how you're like on social media and it pop up like the people you may know? Well, that person popped up and like I tapped in their profile and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, they got a new profile? And then when it popped up, it was the same profile. Because I had, a whole bunch of followers. So I'm like, you didn't get all those followers in, the last couple months. Or maybe you did. So I hit the message button because that's how you could figure it out. The thread will pop up. So the thread popped up and I was like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? You unfriended me or whatever. So I'm trying, of course, me always thinking I did something. I'm like, well, what the fuck did I do? Then I remembered this person owed me money. This person owes me a nice amount of money. To some people, the amount is not something that I should just let go. But I don't care about money. I don't care about material. And I don't mean it in an arrogant way. I just don't. Like, it's not the end of the world. It is, because when someone owes you money, there's really not much you can do without risking going to jail. You know what I mean? So it kind of just is what it is. And the person doesn't even live in PA anymore. But yeah, basically they owe me money, and that was how they chose to handle it. Because I had to think back. I had mentioned it to them a couple months ago. This is months ago. This is like either beginning of the summer or during the summer. I said something to them about it, and I just left it at that. You know what I mean? And I guess that's how they chose to handle it. It was like, well, I'm not going to pay him his money, so I'm just going to delete him and block him everywhere. I didn't text him. I didn't DM him. I didn't none of that. I just, okay. And then I went on a rant on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I was on there talking some shit. They're fucking scum. If someone helps you, and anyone, if someone helps you in a time of need, this particular person was about to lose their home. They needed mortgage money, and I'm very much, for my friends, like, they were in a bind, and I helped this person out. Literally without me, that person's shit would have been foreclosed upon. So for you to then turn and to snake me over a couple dollars, it's like, I would have been okay if you just said, like, I can't pay you. You could have paid me back $20 a year for the next 50 years or whatever. And I wouldn't even have cared. I'd have been okay with it, because again, I'm not about to end. I don't end relationships over money. I will never do it over money and material. You have to do something to me. I know some people that I talked to was like, yeah, Ryan, you're fucking crazy. You should go kick that person's ass. I can't do that without going to jail. So I won't be doing that. I help a lot of people because it's in my heart. And I've learned that I need to stop doing that. I got to pick and choose. I really got to know the person. Or know, like, in this I can't even use that example for this, because this person I've known for nearly 20 years. So it's just like, the person just chose to snake me. You chose to throw away a 20-year friendship over, okay. And I'm not going to say the amount, but there's people that know how much it was. There's people I've talked to, or people, my friends, and people that I'm close to. There are certain people that know the amount. And I'm going to leave it at that. So that leads me to just being thankful for my grandmother, who is the reason I have the good heart that I have. The reason why I do help people is because that's how she taught me and raised me to be. I saw her do it. I saw her help some people too much, but that was just her spirit. That's who she was. But people will take advantage, and if you choose to end a friendship just so you don't have to pay me, that really says a lot about your character. That's really all I got to say about that. As for my week, my car stopped working out of nowhere, and I thought it was my starter. My neighbors was helping me, and I'm out there like working on the car, trying to jump it and all that. And then I happened to look up, and it was my Uncle Clyde. He was across the street. He came and he pulled up, and then he stopped and he was talking to me. He was helping me, trying to figure out what was wrong with the car. And I'm really thankful for the person he's become, because Uncle Clyde used to be one of the meanest people ever. And like looking as an adult now, I look back, it came from, I understand the place it was coming from. That was how he chose to love us, was in that aggressive manner, because he never would like, he was always mean. He never like hit us or anything like that. But he, especially with the boys, he was always tough on us. But I understand he was tough on us because compared to how he was raised, we were actually baby. Compared to the things that he went through, he didn't want us to go through the things that he went through. That's just my opinion. Looking at the things that he had to endure in his life, he didn't want me to make the same mistakes. But anytime I got in trouble, anytime somebody did something for me, that man was ready to kill. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. That's one thing I would say. All my uncles, they didn't play about us. They made, some of them may have been harder on us than the next, but he definitely. I remember when I got arrested as an adult, he came to my job and he was just like, what? Like, he was going off. He was ready to kill. And I mean, that's how you want your family to be. I don't want him to kill nobody, but you want your family to always have your back. But I love this version of Uncle Clyde. He's just really, I talked about it in an episode. He's just like the nicest uncle now. He see me, he gives me a hug, he tells me he love me, and I tell him I love him back. And that's just art. I love going to his house now. I love seeing him. Like, you know what I mean? I told you a couple weeks ago, he was beeping his horn, and I turned around, it was him, and he had the biggest smile on his face. And again, I'm just thankful for his progress in life. He's just a different person now. He's really just a good person. He really is. But yeah, he was out there trying to help me figure out what's going on. It turned out it was the battery, so I ended up sending it to the shop. I paid for diagnostics and all that because I thought it was a starter, and they took the starter out and it wasn't a starter, so I had to pay for the work because they did the work. They took it out and it wasn't a starter. They tested it, so it ended up being a battery. I had to go buy a battery because my battery wasn't under warranty no more. I missed it by a year. It literally just expired in September or something like that. So I had to buy a brand new battery. Then I get home the next day. It's a little chilly, so I have oil heating. I turn the heat on. The heat doesn't cut on. Fuck is going on? So I go downstairs. I thought I had the switch off. Switch is on. I go downstairs. I look at my tank. The tank says it's empty. That can't be right. I just got 150 gallons 2 weeks ago. 150 gallons will last me about 7 weeks because we don't burn the oil like that, and it hasn't been cold. This is like the first cold day in like 2 weeks. Come to find out, I called the oil company. I was like, hey, did y'all deliver it to the right house? Yeah, we did. I talked to the guy delivered. He could describe my house. Yeah, deliver it. He comes, he looks at the tank. Dude, you got a leak on your tank. All your oil leaked out. What the fuck? 150 gallons of oil. Y'all know oil is not cheap. So I'm out that. Not only that, I have someone come look at the tank. How much is it gonna cost to replace this cracked tank? Because my tank is cracked. $4,200. Oh my God. This week cannot get any worse. I'm already antisocial as shit. I got all this shit going on. It was just a wild week. I'm hoping actually there's a way to get the city to pay for it. So I'm actually going that avenue first before I come out my pocket, because I don't want to come out my pocket. And then not to mention, my car was already scheduled to go into the shop, which now it's going to the shop tomorrow. I need like a wheel bearing or something, which is nothing major. I thought it was something way worse. So compared to what I thought, it's actually not as bad. But yeah, it was just a crazy fucking week. I was moody as shit. It wasn't a good week. It was a draw. So thankfully, again, back to my grandmother, she taught me how to heat a house without the heat, without the oil. Without heaters. So I know how to heat a house. Besides having like electric heaters and stuff around the house, there's other ways to heat the house, which I really won't get into. But if you grew up poor like we did, then you know what I'm talking about. Humble beginners, man. I know how to heat a house up. Couple pots, some water. You can make the house hot as shit. As long as it's not like 5 degrees. But yeah, all that stuff. That was my week. That was the things that happened. I want to talk about some domestic violence stuff. I got like 3 cases here. High profile people. because the Diddy and Cassie thing came out. I'll talk about that in a second. But that was what triggered me to because already was going to talk about Trevor Bauer, but then that happened. I was like, all right, and I'll speak on that because two of the cases I'm going to talk about was where someone lied, and the other cases where I think the female is actually telling the truth. So this guy, he's a Major League Baseball player. His name is Trevor Bauer. He played for the Los Angeles Dodgers, right? And in June 28th of 2021, he was accused of sexual assault and had a domestic violence restraining order. The woman, what was her name? Hold on, I got it right here. I think it was Lindsay something. Her name was Lindsay Hill. She claimed to have had significant head and facial trauma and had signs of basilar skull fracture. However, the CT showed differently. Also, she claimed to have 2 black eyes, bloody swollen lip, significant bruising, and swelling to one side of her face. She said that while she was unconscious, Trevor Bauer penetrated her anally, accused him of choking her out during sex. He then in turn provided text messages to support his claim that it all was consensual. The police department in San Diego and in Los Angeles both looked into it and found no evidence of him having any wrongdoing. The judge in the case threw the restraining order out that the woman had on him in San Diego. And anyone that knows, you know that it's really easy to get a restraining order, especially when you claim domestic violence. They push them shits through. They're like, oh, what? The nigga ain't gotta be there. Like, you go to court, he hit me, restraining order, boom, see you in 30 days. Like, you know what I'm saying? They them Jones, they go through. So for a judge to be like, oh no, you lied, like that means that there was really evidence because they're really easy to get. So where he went wrong at, he met her on Instagram. If I had that kind of money, and he was at the time he was worth $50 million, he had $100 million contract with Major League Baseball. He met her on IG. Why are you meeting these little thoughts or regular people off of social media? I'm not doing it. They ended up settling out of court with no money exchanged. So my issue here is, he shouldn't have dealt with her or whatever. But that doesn't give her the right to fucking lie and make up shit about him. So they had text messages proving otherwise. They had a video that she had up the day that she claimed he did something to her. She's laying in bed next to him. You know, all that shit is timestamped. Nothing is on her face. Nothing's wrong with her. He's sound asleep. I guess they just got done fucking or whatever. But they used that, and then they found text messages between her and her friend about how they were trying to set him up. So she was purposely trying to get him to whoop her ass so that she can get some money from him. And that was kind of how they got everything thrown out. And he has a video on YouTube where he goes and he himself, Trevor Bauer, was talking about it. But this man had a $100 million contract voided because she claimed sexual assault and domestic violence. And my problem is people that fucking lie about shit like this need to go the fuck to jail. If you lie and say someone did something to you and they didn't, you need to go to jail. That's a crime. And these women that do these things, they're just walking free. And it's very personal to me because I've experienced it directly. I've experienced someone lying, saying I did some things that I did not do. So it's very personal to me. So excuse the anger in my voice. But yeah, they settled out of court, no money exchange. Now to the Diddy and Cassie thing. So she sued for damages, accusing rape, physical abuse, and many other things. We all knew Diddy was weird. We knew he was on some weird shit. That's been well documented. The lawsuit cited abuse over 10 years. Said he raped her after she tried to leave him. Physical abuse including punching and kicking, leaving bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. He blew up someone's car. I think that was Kid Cudi when she was dating him. Forced her to engage in sexual acts while he watched and masturbated. Fucking weird. Ran out of his apartment with a gun in pursuit of a rival exec. Made her carry his gun in her purse. Introduced her to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse. And required her to get illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addictions. This is a lot. It really is. The thing that really bothered me was that they settled 2 days after the news broke. My issue with the settlement, and I'm not her, is without judging, I do not understand why she was settled out of court. Her net worth is $8 million. She was seeking $30 million. But I definitely believe some of, if not most of this is true. And if he did these things to her, he should be fucking in jail. Ladies and gentlemen, domestic violence is a very serious thing. It's serious when you do it. It's serious when you lie about it. I genuinely believe that people who lie and make shit up should go to jail. I also believe that people that fucking commit these crimes should go the fuck to jail. And again, it's really personal to me because I had someone lie on me. So I just, the shit these lies really destroy people's lives. It really, yeah, like literally just a little bit about my situation. I was on my way to the military, and the minute that it happened, that was taken away. I had to fight and fight and fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. And like you're in court for a really long fucking time. Trevor Bauer lost his job and possible future earnings because of this. Like I said, he had $100 million contract voided. $100 million fucking dollars. He had to go play in Japan. If anybody knows about baseball, American baseball contracts versus Japanese, you know it's pennies compared to dollars. So, and now he'll probably never play in the MLB ever again. You know what I'm saying? He won't have any chance to make it real money. No one wants to touch him because that's attached to his name. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, these people that lie and make shit up, they need to fucking go to jail. There was also a kicker in the NFL, Matt Araiza. His last name is spelled Araiza. He was a punter. He was called the punt guy. He was accused of rape last year, accused of a gang rape. He was accused of being part of a gang rape of a 17-year-old minor while he was in college. So it happened before he got drafted. The Buffalo Bills cut him the next day. Like, this shit broke at 11 o'clock at night. At 5 a.m. that morning, he was fucking cut. And had his life ruined, no NFL contract, and he'll probably never get back in. It was later proven that he wasn't even present when she was allegedly assaulted. I'm sorry. I'm using the word allegedly. And the reason I say allegedly because they found video footage of her having consensual sex with multiple different men at night, which means there was multiple videos of her fucking multiple different men that night, consensually. I mean, she was a minor. I don't prove it, but the fact that she lied, it was proven that she lied. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. And it was just like he was the one she went at. He became, because he made it to the NFL, was like, oh, I'm gonna go after him. In the same situation, she was trying to get him to settle out of court. This guy was like a 6th-round pick. He really didn't have a lot of money. He probably was making like $200,000 as a punter in the 6th round if he was lucky. He hadn't even made the team yet. He was cut during training camp. So, which leads me to being really thankful for my freedom. I thank God every day that I'm free, and that shit didn't completely ruin my life. It didn't take me away from my kids. It didn't, because it really could have been a lot worse. I don't want to go too far into detail, but yeah, and then that person that lied on me, ironically, they like literally, I think like a year after all that stuff happened, they like got cancer. And I don't wish anything bad on people, but I do believe in like karma and shit. I think things happen to people when they fucking do wrong by you. I just think that happens. Obviously, I didn't wish death on that person like that. I still wish them nothing but the best. I honestly do. I wish them nothing but the best in life, and they're alive and well right now. But I think certain things happen to like, remember that shit you did? You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. But hell, the person snaking me out of money could be karma on me for something that I did years ago. You know what I mean? You never know. It just is what it is. That's why I kind of take things with it happened, and I just keep it moving. I'm not. And also because I like my freedom. If I get too angry, I don't want to compromise my freedom. I don't want. If there's nothing you can do when someone owes you money, I can take you to small claims court. That's probably about it. But I'm not even doing that. People that I notice, I gotta reevaluate friendships or relationships with people through that though. I really do. I notice that people always come to me when they're in need, but I can't really go to these same people if or when I'm in need. You know what I mean? I also know people don't always support you, but they want you to support them. Just a funny story, and I don't want to sound petty, but so like Gabby had a fundraiser this week for a cheerleading team, and I'm sending it to people, and like I posted whatever. So and it's over and done with. Everything was turned in a day, and of course like I paid for I bought donuts, but out of all of that, there was only one fucking person that that bought donuts. And I get everybody's financial situation is different, whatever. But and when I say this, I'm not talking about no one directly. But well, no, I'm more referencing the people that will come to me when they have a fundraiser for their kids, or they're selling platters, or they're doing something. No, you don't have to do anything for my kid, but it's just kind of like you make a mental note with, you know what I mean, of like how people move for you. You can't move for people. Don't move mountains for people that don't move mountains for you. You know what I'm saying? I think everything should be reciprocated. And again, like I understand everyone's financial situation is, well, it's Christmas time, whatever's going on. But I remember there were people that were having like fundraisers, and they was sending that shit to me multiple times. Like the first 3 times, I like, oh, okay. And like I kind of forgot about it. And then they were reminding me like, hey, if you're gonna, and this is like, motherfucker, like, you know what I mean? And I'm always going, like, for kids, I'll always donate for kids and participate. Because, you know, especially when your kid is doing something positive, like, yeah. But that was just another lesson this week. It was just like, you kind of got to be like, oh, okay. And keep it moving, you know what I mean? I don't take it personal. I'm not angry about it, nothing like that. But, yeah, just dead on one side of relationships, man. I really have to do that. And because it really, in most situations, it really costs nothing to support people, and that's in anything they do. You know what I mean? Like I just noticed certain things aren't reciprocated. Even when, like, I was talking to Ant on the last episode about it, and it's like I pretty much repost any and almost everything I see. If you got a product or whatever it is, I'm gonna repost it, because even if it doesn't resonate with me, there may be somebody that follows me that can use that information you got, or maybe interested in the product that you're selling. And if I can help generate a sale for you, I don't want anything. I'm just doing it just because. If I can get someone to buy your fucking platters, I'm just doing it. I don't need any credit for that. I'm just doing it just because. I may not want none of your food, but there's probably 10 people that I know that may want your food. So that's my way of helping. And it takes 3 seconds to do the shit. Also, I have to stop reaching out first, or trying to put effort in people that have clearly shown me they do not care. I noticed that over the last 2 weeks, someone in particular, I noticed like I was reaching out because they were in the area, and I was like, hey, yeah, I hadn't seen them in a while. Like, let's get together, let's do this, let's do that, and motherfucker left me on red. I was like, oh, okay. And sometimes people get busy, but that's not the first time he did that. And I just kind of like, oh, okay, I don't give people the benefit of the doubt no more. I'm just like, oh, you acting like that? Cool, no problem. No beef, no malice, none of that. I wish you well. But you got to stop reaching out to people that aren't reaching out to you first. That shit got to be level, you know what I mean? And the people I talk to regularly are the people that I talk to regularly. They really do. They're people that I met on Instagram that I talk to more than I talk to some people that I've known all my fucking life. That, you know what I mean? Again, like I talked about before, about even like the borrow money part of it, I got noticed there are people that I only heard from when they needed to borrow money. And I had to like distance myself from them, because like I'm not the fucking Wells Fargo. I don't have money like that, you know what I'm saying? So you have to, and I can't do this with you. I can't hit you up and say, hey, can you look out? No, I can't, because you're going to be like, oh, I got this, I got that, I got that. And that's understandable. But I had to like learn to like, one, just stop lending out. I definitely learned that now. Like, I'm done lending out money. After that, yeah, bank is closed. But yeah, it really costs nothing to support people, man. I think, and that's the one thing I love about like down south. Like down south, you go down south, it's a much different atmosphere. Like people, like when you got something, your neighborhood people, they will fucking support you. Whatever, push your album, whatever it is, your clothing line, like they will really, do that. Up north is not like that. And again, like I said, it takes 3 seconds. Prime example is I listened to a podcast a week or so ago that I just wasn't a fan of. It didn't resonate with me. I didn't like it. I listened to the whole thing. I gave it a good rating. And I reposted it, but not because I liked it. I reposted it because maybe this may resonate with somebody else. They may take a liking to it. They may like what you had to say. They may be, you know what I mean? It can relate to it. And maybe this episode wasn't for me. I'm pretty sure my podcast is for everybody. I probably got episodes people like, this nigga, like, who gave him a microphone? I'm pretty sure. Everybody's not gonna like everything. But I know that I can pass the information on to the next person, and maybe they may like whatever it is that you have. You know what I'm saying? There's podcasts that I repost that I know people don't like. Famous people, and people are like, oh, I didn't like that. Like, I know people that don't like the Joe Rogan podcast. I think it's a good podcast. But yeah, so a message for today is stop. I got a couple messages. Stop showing up for people that do not show up for you, and stay true to yourself. Uh, Also, just be thankful for the small things, y'all. Live in your purpose, and really be thankful for the small things. Thankful for life. Thankful that you have a home, a car, food. You know what I mean? Like just freedom. You know what I mean? We don't realize how precious that shit is until you do not have it or until it's compromised. I remember when I thought I was gonna lose my I didn't realize how fucking free I was until it was compromised. You know what I mean? So just having the ability to get up every day and do life that's a gift within itself. There are people that are alive but they can't walk, that they can't do certain things, they can't feed themselves. So just be super thankful, not just Thanksgiving week, but just every day, man. And fellas, walk the fuck away from any situation that compromises your freedom. If you got a woman that is putting her hands on you, get the fuck up out of there, because that's letting you know right then and there, that there are some deeper issues there, and that woman probably needs therapy, but you don't want to find yourself in a situation where she hits you 12 times and the 13th you sucker punch her and now you're in jail. Ladies, if you're in a situation where a man is beating on you, you need to get the hell out of there. If you're in a situation where you're the aggressor, you need to stop. You know what I mean? Fellas, again, if you're being abused, you need to get out of there, man. It's just a matter of seconds you could lose your freedom. You know what I mean? It's just get out of there, man. I'm plugging my lock lady, Keshna. Her name is spelled Keshna. Y'all can reach her at Novelty Locks. That's NAVLTE _LOCS on Instagram. She does my locks. She's been doing them for 4 years. She's a licensed cosmetologist and a lock care specialist. As always, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for taking 30 to 40 minutes of your day out to listen to me ramble and talk about whatever I'm talking about. I really appreciate it. And please subscribe, download to the podcast, follow the page on Instagram. Check the video out on YouTube if you have time. Again, I really appreciate it. Until next time, y'all have a great rest of your week. Peace.